What's going on, y'all? So, let me get right into it. One thing I can't stand right now in society is the fact that it's so hard for people to be themselves. Why is it so hard for you to just be you? Why is it so hard to have your own opinion? Why is it so hard to have your own beliefs, to have your own, style, to have your own choice, to have your like complete autonomy over how you feel? It's not like a foreign concept. Plenty of people have their own opinions and they are who they are, but what makes them different from you? Everybody at the end of the day is still human, right? No matter how many followers you have, no how many friends you have on Instagram, Facebook, how many followers you got on Twitter, how many followers you got anywhere, like social media doesn't make or break you. Just because you have many celebrities who, dress a certain way, have a particular lifestyle, live their lives a certain way, does not mean you need to live off that blueprint. Just because you see everybody else making it out of their situation because they rap well, doesn't mean that that's gonna work for you. Like it doesn't work for everybody the same. And you get out of life what you put in it. So if you're not working as hard, then don't expect to have the same outcome anyway. That's just a little tangent. Um, that's just a tangent. But I mean, hey, if you rap well, you rap well. If you're doing it and you love it, then cool. I'm not knocking you. But don't just do it because that's what's popping. Don't do it because that's what's trending, because that's what everybody else is doing. No, do it because you want to do it, not because you see everybody else doing it. That's my point. Don't do something and half-assed it if you're not fully involved or fully like you don't want to put your all into it. Like don't use your half-ass, use your full ass. Like like there's no other way for me to really put it. Like be who you are all the way, not halfway, not part-time, not when you feel like, not when it's convenient. Like be you all the time. It's so hard for people to do. It's so hard for people to get into a room, have this opinion, and then be like, "Whoa, well, I don't know if I should say that right here because I might offend somebody. They might not like what I'm saying. They might not agree with me. It's okay. It is okay. I've been in rooms with people haven't agreed with me. I've been in rooms with people looking at me like I'm crazy, like they don't know what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I'm talking about. So I feel secure in that, regardless if they shrugging their shoulders like, well, I don't know what he's talking about. Well, I don't know who he's talking to. Y'all know, y'all just don't want to accept it. Trust me, I'm fully accepting of who I am and what I'm saying. Not everything that I say is 100% right. Not everything that I say is something that somebody else is going to believe in. That's cool. But I know what I'm saying. There are people that are going to believe in it because I believe in it. I believe in it and I'm not afraid to. I believe in myself. I believe in the things that I say because I follow the same principles. I am who I am. I don't try to be something that I'm not. I don't try to act like, you know what, this is what's going to work, so I'm going to just do what they did and make sure it pops. No, I'm fully aware of the differences in what somebody else is doing and what I'm doing. So it's not going to work the same for me. Like, I record these videos because I want to, and it's something that helps me. It's very therapeutic. But I also record them to share with y'all just how I'm feeling about the subject, just how I'm feeling about life. Like, it's hard for a lot of people to get along in these times. It's hard for a lot of people to have an opinion in these times. But you know what? I'm still going to have my opinion. And if you have a voice, if you have a mouth, if you have the means to say what you want to say, then do it. Nobody's stopping you. The only person stopping you is you. You truly have complete power over everything that it is that you do, but you know that you live in the confines of a society where you will be judged for whatever it is that you do. Hypothetically speaking, right? If I wanted to run down the street butt naked, there's nothing stopping me. Nothing is stopping me. It might be illegal, but nothing's stopping me. The only thing that's confining me is the laws that's going to punish me for doing something that's explicitly said that you can't do this in our society. Okay, cool, but I can still do it. There's going to be repercussions for that. Like there's going to be an actual punishment. So be it. If I'm comfortable with that punishment, I'm going to do what it is that I want to do. I'm going to say what it is that I want to say. That's another problem, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. It's so hard for people to say certain things because we live in a society that is so sensitive. And I don't even know at this point if it's a good or a bad thing, but we are so sensitive as a society. People are afraid to say certain things. Just because you say something that isn't popular doesn't mean that it still doesn't deserve to be said. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, the conversation of gender, when the conversation of sexuality, when the conversation of race, the conversation of politics, like all of these things are so hard to speak about now, not only because there's less privacy about it, because it's always plastered over social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, like it's all there. It's always there. And the internet has made things much more accessible and people have many more opinions rather, that it's hard to say, oh, well, I don't know if I should say this or I don't know if I should think. Like, no, I think what I think and I stand on those beliefs, right? Like, it's also how powerful labels can be. If you label yourself as a Republican, gonna have a negative connotation depending on where you live. In Massachusetts, if you consider yourself a Republican, then you're in the little, you you in the minority, bruh, because this is the blue state. Or you go somewhere like Texas, you might be a little different response. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody believes, like, you know what? Everybody believes one thing is right. But because you have your truth doesn't mean somebody else doesn't have their truth. This comes back to the whole idea of being yourself, regardless of what other people think. Being yourself, living off your own blueprint. Live how you want to live. Live in the confines of your own body, not even in the confines, in the freedom, in the very essence of who you are. Don't think about what other people are going to be, how they're going to judge you. Cool, other people are going to judge you. That's just the reality of the situation. But do you let that dictate who you are and how you act? Or do you embrace that and find security in who you are, regardless of people judging you? It is what it is, man. I don't know, like, it's just been so hard to just have conversations with people because it seems like the conversation turns into an argument. And the conversation that we wanted to have is very simple. Like, just because somebody else has an opinion that's not yours doesn't mean it's not okay. Like, you have to be accepting of that, right? If I got into, perfect example, I got into a conversation with somebody the other day and they was talking about how they got into an argument on Facebook over 100 comments back and forth about who's the best, who's the greatest of all time, whether it was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. And he said, nah. He said, I knew he was tripping. He's like, because I know Brady's the GOAT. He's like, but he had to understand. I said, no, he didn't. Like, and dude's like, nah, he needed to understand. No, he didn't. That's the problem. You think that he needed to understand. You thought he needed to understand, and he was telling you, nah, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. Cool. It's not something that you have that's definitive. Like, it's not a documented fact. That might be your opinion, and it might be the opinion of a lot of people, but it's not a documented fact. So I followed up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, so let me ask you a question. I said, was Barack Obama the president of the United States? He goes, yes. I said, why? He goes, oh, that's a fact. I said, oh, why is it a fact? Because you can go back in history and document the fact that he was actually sworn in as the president of the United States. You can't find that one spot, and say, oh, well, Tom Brady was officially labeled the greatest of all time. No, he wasn't. That's your opinion. It's always going to be your opinion until somebody slates that. Until somebody stamps that in history, it is always going to be your opinion. Cool. Everybody has their opinions on who they believe is the greatest of all time, but it's not a matter it's not that serious. It's sports at the end of the day. Like, people might take sports to heart, and hey, if that's you, that's you. I don't really take it too seriously. That's just my opinion on the matter. But at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. Like, I don't know, like, to fight to tell somebody else why your opinion is right is counterproductive to me. And I think once we start moving past why my opinion is right and being open to listen, because we all love to talk, but we don't like to listen. If you're able to listen and they're able to listen, and you guys are able to exchange ideas as opposed to just arguing and going back and forth and bickering, growth will be able to occur. Like, you will also be able to walk away from it. Like, okay, this is still my opinion, but I understand why he has his opinion, or she has her opinion, or they have their opinion. Simple as that. Learn to live with you having your own opinion and everybody else having their own opinion. It's not that hard. And then again, it is that hard because that's how we found ourselves in this predicament. But that's my word on it. I'm out.